Hi, I'm Melissa Broaddus, ACCA's Director of Communications and editor of IE3 magazine. And today I'm here with Carl Zelmer of Emerson. How are you doing today, Carl?
I'm doing real good. Last day of the show.
Yes, and you had a fantastic party last night. Thank you so much for doing that. Was it a great turnout for you?
A good turnout and awesome band. Awesome band.
Wonderful. Well, hey, we're going to talk a little bit today about the state of change that our industry is in right now. Can you tell me a little bit about that and what factors have really caused that change?
You know, there's a lot of factors causing the change, one of which, labor shortages, emerging markets, mergers, acquisitions, a bunch of stuff. But I'd say the biggest factor in the changes that we're facing right now are government regulations.
Yeah, and we hear that a lot at ACCA about government relations and all the things that the government's trying to do. Can you tell us a little bit more about the regulations that are really causing and pushing the changes in our industry?
Well, there's certainly been a bunch of them. In 2006, we had the 10 to 13 SEER transition for residential. Big inventory build, higher cost equipment, big run up on service parts business where people are fixing old systems, which probably wasn't what they wanted to do. In 2010, we had the R22 to R410A transition, another big buildup of inventory of R22 equipment. 2015, regional standards, increased costs, run up of inventory, and this one added a lot more bills of material to deal with and logistics of different units in different regions and keep it in the right spot. 2018, we have an increase of about 15% of IEER for commercial equipment, higher cost again, a lot of money spent on engineering resources, heavier equipment. In 2023, there's another 15% bump in IER, higher cost, heavier equipment, and a bump in residential efficiencies as well. At about that point in time, we'll be looking at alternate refrigerants that are mildly flammable, more dealings with safety requirements and added cost. Now, I'm in favor of a lot of these changes, if provided it's economically justified. My concern, again, is things like, will the rooftop being heavier, is the roof braced strong enough to take a heavier piece of equipment, and is it economically justified? The big concern is people fixing old equipment again, and that isn't what the regulations are intended to do.
Now, I know at ACCA we have a staff member who is representing contractors on the Hill, and he's a part of the working groups that are working on some of these regulations. What is Emerson doing on their side to help out with some of these things?
We have several people that are active in Washington, D.C. A couple folks in particular are active in these working groups. One in particular I can think of, very, very good individual, very strong technically, and he was active in participating in the 2023 kind of a negotiated settlement on the residential side, and it ended up being not too onerous. And at least today now we know what kind of equipment we need to design for 2023 and beyond. So there's not the state of uncertainty that we've had in many of these previous regulation changes.
So what would you suggest contractors do to help with these regulations and help with all the things that the government's doing to change our industry?
I think they need to have regular dialogues with their local representatives. They have a voice in Congress, and let them know what the concerns that they have that are similar probably to many that I just voiced. The other thing they can do is really stay abreast of the regulations, don't get caught surprised, and understand particularly the enforcement rules that are going to be coming down the pike on these new regulations.
Absolutely. Well, Carl, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Everybody have a wonderful day.